welcome to this review of the 1978 John Carpenter cult classic, Halloween. As always, I am your host, Captain Jackhammer, and I thank you for joining me. Now, I know what some of you are asking. Captain, why no machinima review this week? Well, I wanted to do something in keeping with the season, and share some of the other things with you that are near and dear to my heart, and Halloween most certainly is. But don't worry, another machinima review will be out within the next 2 weeks. Halloween was the surprise hit of the 1978 Chicago Film Festival. Some even compared it with Hitchcock's classic, Psycho, which starred Jamie Lee Curtis's mother, Janet Leigh. And at a cost to make of only $325,000, this indie film went on to gross $47 million. I've probably seen John Carpenter's horror masterpiece Halloween more times than any other film. And I first seen it when I was but the tender age of 11. And it will always be the best horror film ever made in my opinion. None of its many sequels or imitators or remakes have been able to even remotely capture the style and brilliance of the original. I simply cannot imagine a genre picture being better than this one. Halloween starts off with a prologue set in 1963, all done in an elaborate one-take point-of-view shot in which 6-year-old Michael Myers grabs a butcher knife, makes his way upstairs, slips on a clown mask, and goes into his teenage sister's room and stabs her to death. Switch to October 30th, 1978. Myers, now an adult, escapes from a mental hospital, returns to his hometown of Haddonville, Illinois, and on Halloween night goes on a murder spree, singling out 3 friends, Lori, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, Annie, played by Nancy Loomis, and Linda, played by P.J. Soles. 2 of which are babysitting. Meanwhile, Michael Myers' psychiatrist Sam Loomis, played by Donald Pleasance, knows he will strike again and goes searching for him. John Carpenter's Halloween is the quintessential horror film. Perfectly executed, atmospheric, suspenseful, and terrifying. Yes, it is a slasher movie, but I'd like to think that it's so good that it surpasses that dubious label. There are many reasons why Halloween was and still is an effective film. One of the big reasons is Carpenter's clever use of foregrounds and backgrounds of all of his shots. If you look really good at the backgrounds of all of the scenes, you will often see something lurking around, including Michael Myers himself. Many pictures have copied this approach, but none have been able to do it so successfully. Another reason it's so enthralling is that the story is very, very simple, and is actually a sort of slice-of-life movie when dealing with the teenage girls. There's no big scenes between them. Instead, it just observes them in their normal life. It just happens to be while they are being stalked by a serial killer. In recent horror movies, there's always been a mystery to who the killer is. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Urban Legend, but this 90s style approach of making horror movies is getting old fast. Halloween also has the most memorable music score I've ever listened to. Like 1960's Psycho, the score, when heard, is always paired with this movie. And even those people who have never seen it probably can hum it. It's sort of like in Psycho, many people remember the shower scene even if they've never actually seen the movie. This signature music score was written and composed entirely by John Carpenter, which is a testament to his ingenuity and his talent. Despite being a slasher film, Halloween surprisingly has next to no gore or on-screen violence. Because of this, it proves that horror pictures do not need to have graphic violence to be a scary experience, something the 1981's highly inferior Halloween 2 should have realized. As most people know, this is the film that made Jamie Lee Curtis a star, not to mention being labeled the Queen of Scream, and this is actually one of her best performances, even though it was her feature debut. The late Donald Pleasance was also linked to his role as Dr. Loomis more than any other film in his life. P.J. Soles as the promiscuous big-mouth Linda is often funny and a standout. And Michael Myers? Well, no slasher villain will ever be able to compare to him. Now, I am a huge Rob Zombie fan, and I love all of his movies, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention his 2007 remake of Halloween. The difference between the 1978 Halloween and the 2007 remake is that you didn't know why Michael Myers was doing what he was doing in the 1978 version. He was just an unstoppable killing machine. Pure evil, as Dr. Loomis stated. No conscience and no remorse, the true essence of the boogeyman. Now, all of the sequels of the original Halloween have tried to explain why Michael Myers is doing what he's doing, but I look at all the sequels to the original Halloween as being apocryphal. In the 2007 remake, you knew why Michael was killing. He had had a messed up childhood. That's what drove him over the edge. Heck, you can watch that on the news every night. John Carpenter's Halloween is a nearly flawless thriller, but it's also simply a great motion picture. Period. It's everything a film in this genre should be: intelligent, stylish, and horrifying. Halloween is a one-of-a-kind, unforgettable experience, and it gets a well-deserved 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching. I'm Captain Jackhammer, and I will see you next time.